Hello, I'm Sensei Joe Gary from Joe's Dojo Villa Park. Today I'll be going over our Yellow Belt review board. So, just a small note is that when we do a review, we do everything from the previous belts on, so in karate you can never forget anything. If you do, you're still supposed to know it. Yellow Belt gets a little bit trickier, obviously, because you basically double the amount of things you should know. I like to say Orange Belt's the hardest belt to get in karate because you actually have to do something. To get a white belt in my dojo, you have to basically attend one class start to finish without giving up or not wanting to be there or something like that. But for the actual, to get your orange belt, you actually have to test for it. And you have to be accountable for what I expect you to know. Now, yellow belt, it is not as hard of a test because you've already done it before. But it's more things. Just starting off, the additional stances would be Haisukodachi, which is feet together, and you have your hands at your sides, and you're perfectly straight up and down. You want to have your body upright. This actually does have locked knees, so it's not a stance that you should stay in for extended periods of time, because then you would cut off blood flow to your legs, which is bad for you. We still have our same Zenkusudachi from before. That's where I'll do most of our punches and kicks. Looks like I can zoom in a little bit there. Good. Punches. Gyakuzuki. So we already had that in self-defense form before and in some of the other katas, but if you're here, reverse punch is always from the back side. So it's kind of a specialty. It's just the cross in boxing. So if you notice, I'm replacing my hand back here so I could get the full pull. You could go from here to here, but for some reason it feels like you're missing out. So if you were in a boxing stance, you could still go there, it could go there. You could do a reverse punch and not have your hand perfectly chambered. But in karate, we like to focus on the efficiency. So to get the most amount of power, you have to pull something back as you're pushing something forward. So you're going there. And we're also trying to hit, or if you see in my uniform, like right in the center mass of the person right now is where I'm actively practicing. I'm also working on loose here and then tight right at the end. Good. Next one would be Shotezuki. So you're doing the palm heel strike. Ideal targets would be the nose, could be the jaw. Sometimes you'll do things like hitting the center of the body, but most of the time it's to the face. So when you're practicing, focus on your attack, what you're doing, not just doing the motion, but engaging your thought on what you're attacking. Next up would be same hand shape. So you have Han Uriken. So it's a same as a shote, except for now you're extending it up underneath the chin into the throat. The bigger difference on this one, we do it in our circular self-defense, you'll see later. You're going to extend it up. You're trying to have a straight line here, so it has a little bit more structure behind it. So this is like its foundation here, and this is its actual attack part. If you notice too, I have all these knuckles in a row. I try not to have them bent here. I try not to have them overextended right in the middle, so it has better penetration. The other part that you're going for is you're aiming for the chest up, as opposed to chin down. Your goal is to slide up and in. If you could go right into the throat, you're absolutely happy with that. But you want to be prepared for some resistance, and this is a good way of getting in small spaces. This is the primary attack place too. Good. Next up would be Rikenzuki. So Rikenzuki is a back fist. A lot of times in karate, we'll throw them from here down. You're still ripping your power straight in. You could also do them outways. You could do them from get ready stance. You go bam. You're just, the difference is that you're hitting with the back part of your fist. The Rikenzuki back fist. Bam. Which, I'm trying to think. Gyaku reverse, shote palm heel, Riken or Hanuriken extended knuckle uppercut. So I'm extending my knuckles as an uppercut. Next up, already going into the blocks. So blocks, we got Chudan, which would be middle block. You could have done this before, but we expect you to know it now. Chudanuki, your goal is shoulder level. You should have a little bit of space here, about a fist's width. This, you don't want to have it too close because then they'll probably hit you and then still stab you with your punch if you have it a little bit extended. help you out. If you have it too far extended, it'll be easy to manipulate. So there's kind of a sweet spot there. Either hand, either side. Then you also have a Juju Uki. We like to do the high version here, the low version here. I was working on this with some of my advanced students before, and I was talking about how it's not just putting your hands down. They were going here, which in some ways covers more surface area, so you have more chance of blocking. But the downside is you're blocking with your pinky knuckles. So if you go here, you're getting kicked in the jammable part of your hand. If you go here, they're kicking your knuckles like you're stabbing them with your bone. So you're gonna drop down, so they kick up, you push down, you're attacking their foot or their leg. Or you could technically do it with a hand, but usually it'd be there. Now the high one, it's open. The reason why is because you're probably either doing it with a down hammer fist, or a lot of times this is against a baton or a knife. So they'll be coming down, you'll be going up, and you're trying to actually usually jam them as their elbow is still bent before it's fully down in a downward motion. So you're Juju Ukiing up or Juju Ukiing down. You could kind of do it to the side too. So if they're coming in, you just motion out. It's basically a push with a cover. You could go here, you go there. That's another Juju Uki I just learned a little while ago. Also, Murata Gedan, since this is in the Taikyokus, you'll go here and drop. This is a ton of martial arts have this in theirs. So everybody has small modifications. I'm going to have my legs here. I like to kind of breathe up and then a double low block. A lot of times people think about it as just a thing. I also think about it as the people are here and you're attacking their groin. So you have to have it as an upward arc. If you have it as a down and it misses anything, then it's not going to actually do any extra motion. So you're here. I've seen Juju Uki all the way down. I've seen Murata, like a Juju Uki close. I've seen close in here. In different katas, you'll have different reasons. This one is usually because there's somebody right here and you're smashing them. You're hitting them here and here, knocking them out. Bam! And then the other two people in the kata. Good. Next up are kicks. I think I got that. Good. Mwashi. My favorite. So, Mwashi Giri is a round kick. I don't call it a roundhouse kick because I don't know how to say house in Japanese, but a lot of people think about this as the roundhouse because it comes up and it snaps out. In karate, we always point with our knee first and our foot to follow. So when you're here, you have your body sideways. This foot can kind of bend back and get in a little bit of a back stance here. And you can flick it out and pull back in. You can do it on either side. From the front, it should look like my toes pointed. Good. Mwashi Giri. Next up would be Yoko Sakuto. Now, if we do Yoko Sakuto Giri, that's kind of the traditional blade edge. Yoko Sakuto Kokomi, that's more of the thrust. So Kokomi meaning thrust and Giri meaning kick. So it'd be thrusting or kicking. So versus pull back and forth. Both have uses. There's almost no bad move, it's just bad application or bad timing. So Yoko Sakuto Kokomi. A lot more power, a lot more pop, a lot more penetration. We like to think about that one as like, if you're trying to get through a door, you wouldn't kick it with your toes. You wouldn't kick it with your edge, you kick it with the heel. So when you're doing that one, you kind of touch your heel to the ground with your toe kind of pulled up, and you go, ah. One of my favorite kicks in all of karate is that one because it's just whoosh. Somebody's chasing you, wham! You're running after somebody, wham! You just get it out as deep penetrations, and they buckle. Next up would be Kakato Giri. So the Kakato is, these three kicks, I did them in the same belt for the same reason. So I go round kick, side kick, then heel kick. So a heel kick kind of comes up and then pulls. Your goal is you're hitting them with kind of like the knot of your foot. Bam! And you're just kind of giving them a hook punch with your foot. So you're going here and you're pulling into them. Now in point sparring, you might actually go here and hit him with the toe, because then you have another like 6 inches of reach. Probably more than that. But the idea is it hurts more with the heel and it gets further out with the toe. If you do it, I've seen some people go all the way into their calf muscle where they go here and they kind of close in on it. This is a kick that some people hate and some people love. So practice it. After that, we got our terms, very simple terms. We have senpai. So orange belt has sensei, yellow belt has senpai. Senpai means assistant instructor and an assistant teacher. So a lot of times, the person that is in class that's helping out the sensei the most, we call them senpai. Now, in our dojo, we have more than one senpai, just in the same way we have more than one sensei. So I'm the head of this dojo because I own it. Weird. There's people that outrank me. We give them the honorary of what they are. They're a teacher too. But a senpai could be the blue belt kid in the kinderfu class that's helping out that day, or it could be the brown belt. All brown belts are senpais by default. Some lower ranking people are senpais sometimes or all the time. Depends on how good their attitude is and depends on how helpful they are. Next up would be karate ka. So it's Karate and then space Ka. It's not karate car. That's not how I got here. I got here in the the Honda Pilot. But the karate ka is the student of karate. Karate, so kara and then te. The kara, K-A-R-A, and then there used to be like a space T-E, so kara meaning the way of, and then te is hand, so it translates loosely to empty hand. So if you do karate do, that means the way of the empty hand, which is the karate people. We also have another thing, we got rei, which is the bow. We also have kiai, which is the shout. Now, you could have your own flavor of shouting. You could have it, or you could work with it. The goal is to do it from the lower stomach instead of the higher chest. See over here, it's a lot high pitch. It's a lot more low pitch. Now, this draws in more energy. It draws more of your body. You should always have your abs flexed a little bit when you're doing your martial arts. So if you're here, you could literally feel the abs get flexed even more, which makes it more defensive and offensive at the same time. Now to the memorized stuff. Let's go to our ippans again. What I like to do progressive-wise is when you're doing ippans, you should learn how to do them lefty and righty, but you should also kind of like play a game with them, where if you go attack this direction, attack that direction, attack that direction, attack that direction. So orange belt, I expect you to just do them. Yellow belt, I expect you to be able to go here, and then you step back low block. Then you turn. Now I'm doing it left-handed. And I kick, shudo, seiken, geiranuki. So I will just continue because that's number 1. Number 2, we turn back again, high block, huz, tatui, seiken, geiranuki. Spot, joranuki. Ha! Tatui, seiken, geiranuki. Spot. Number 3, joranuki. Ha! Hanuriken Zuki. That's why we did that in the terminology first. Seiken, geiranuki. Spot, joranuki. Meigiri. Hanuriken. Gyaku, seiken, geiranuki. Spot, joranuki. Ha! Shotezuki. Same in the terminology. Seiken, geiranuki. Spot, joranuki. Ha! Shotezuki. Seiken, geiranuki. Hachidachi. Hey, I moved my secret cheat right there. So here's your ippan, kumite kata, standing sparring form 1 through 4. Next up would be our circulars. Now, I like to preface this as that the circulars are less traditional and probably more fast and more violent, which means, in a lot of ways, more useful. Just because they burst right into the fight, somebody attacks you, you misdirect, and you attack them back. Number 1 and 2, I'm going to go a little faster. Number 3 and 4, I'll break down because those are the ones I want you focused on more on this. I want you to have everything up to now. You can always look at the orange belt to study that one. So, 1, round block, seiken, koko, tate. 2, those are 2. Murate Oseyuki, Nishikinzuki, Making Gary, Empizuki. Hands up. Good. Number 3. This is where the Juju Uki comes in. So Juju Uki Making Gary. So you're blocking up in an angle as they're coming forward and down. You're going, bam! They bend down, you help them, kick the face, punch the back of the head. So that backhand's up. So, other side, kick, pull, kick, back fist. Good. Number 4, that one's a little bit easier. So you're walking to the inside, they're coming punch center mass, you're going, what? So it's a shote shuto or a muashi uki. Then you're gonna go Nishikinzuki, Hanurikinzuki, Kamaruchi. Now, I have a tendency to this. We've been training it this way more often. That gives a cupping mechanism to the side of the head, and that can explode the eardrum. It can make them off balance. It can make them not want to fight you anymore. They already got blinded and punched in the throat, so that's a really nasty way of finishing them. Hands up, other way, Muashi-uki. Let's go. Nishiken, Hanuriken, Kamaruchi. That could be a shote too. It's kind of like hybrid in between the two because it's just, I want effect. So, one more time fast, go. Good. Numbers next. So, sign on 2. Kinderfu, I don't necessarily need them to know those yet. Those are partner drills. Almost always we have those working one-on-one. It's really hard to do them by yourself because you're just used to people punching at you. Ippons, they're technically partner drills too, but we could do them by ourselves a lot easier because it's just a block up, punch. Or block up, kick, punch, punch, stuff like that. Whereas the circulars, you get to use their motion to make sure that they're dedicated to the punch, make sure you can work against a sucker punch. It's a lot more good, realistic training. Whereas the Ippons, I think Kinderfu, if they had somebody coming up to try to punch them, they're always going to be coming down. So Kinderfu, looking up to them, bam! And then bam! Flicking a kick to the groin. Great training for them. And then I don't have to teach them how poking out somebody's eyes is a bad idea unless you need it really, really then. Okay. Now the other part is, so Kinderfu, I don't expect them to get all of the circulars. I'd like them to try them. Action kids, yes. Teen and adults, definitely yes. That's one of the bread and butters of our karate, is making sure that when somebody hits you, they get punished for it. So Kinderfu, after they do that, they'll do Taikyo Kuichi. Action kids, Taikyo Kuichi. Teen and adult, Taikyo Kuichi Ni-san. So they have to build up on what they have. The Kinderfu also will just stop at about the halfway point of the kata, whereas the rest of them have to finish it. So we're going to go over Taikyoku. I'm actually going to do Taikyoku Ni because all you have to do to change it is the low blocks and the low punches. Whereas Taikyoku Ni, middle block, middle punch, Taikyoku-san, high block, high punch. Now I say high, I mean the face, I don't mean the forehead. So bam, right there, and then middle, bam, right to the solar plexus, low, bam, right to the stomach. So it's not groin punches, it's right here. You kind of put the belly button, you put this middle knuckle right inside the belly button for the low ones. So, Taikyoku, ooh, I almost tricked myself. Taikyoku Ni. Spot, 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 spot. So I go left, middle, right, left. That's to check out the battlefield. Hey, this guy's the closest. Middle block, punch, spot, Churanuki, Seikenzuki, spot, Churanuki, Seikenzuki, Seikenzuki, ha! There's a ki, spot, Churanuki, Seikenzuki, turn around, Churanuki, Seikenzuki, spot, Churanuki, Seikenzuki, Seikenzuki, ha! Spot, Churanuki, Seikenzuki, middle block, punch, ha! Karate is my secret. I bear no weapons. I pray not to use this. Ask for inner peace. Right. So I like to do the traditional end with that, where you go in a Fudodachi style. You go, karate is my secret. That means I'm not bragging about karate. It's something I have inside me, and I do it myself. I bear no weapons. I'm an honorable fighter, and I'm doing this because I have to, not because I want to. I pray I never have to use this. That one's pretty simple. Man, if I had to go everywhere I go and have to fight people to get there, that would stink. If I want to use it, I better practice really hard so it's there when I need it. And then, whoop, whoop. This one is the newer one for me. I asked for inner peace. that is usually about people that actually had to use it. So if you had to use it, hopefully you can still sleep at night, knowing that you had to defend yourself and or your family, or like a military hero, you've gotten back. It's hard to get away with the stuff that you've done in your head. It'll follow you back and it'll start talking to you. So this one's actually pretty useful. I like it traditionally wise. Okay, that's all the stuff. I'm gonna add in a little bit bonus really quick. So I want you guys working on some of your side kicks a little bit more than just doing the kick in the air. I want you working your movement trills too. So if you're going here, your 5 sparring side kicks. You're gonna go step together. So I'm gonna actually step here, side kick. So step together, side kick. That one is one of the most basic ones in the way that they're right there, wham, you give it to them. Next one would be a slip side kick. So if they're right there, but they're a little bit, they think they're safe, you give them a side kick and you make sure they know that they're not. So the key quality of a good slip kick is that this foot starts acting before this one. And you guys see me on camera if I'm doing it right or wrong. So you're chasing them down. The downside of that is it becomes a flexibility kick. So if you can't kick waist level, as soon as you start stretching, you're gonna start kicking thigh and knee. Self-defense wise, great. Point sparring or having good control, not so great. So you wanna practice your flexibility for that reason too. So if I could kick here, when I do a slip kick, it's gonna be a little bit lower than that. Next one would be a replace foot side kick. So this is the fast one. There you go here, and instead of those 2 that we just did, you're doing them at the same time. So you're, boom. It's a little bit faster, but you have to make sure you don't jump through the ceiling when you do it. So you want to think about jumping that way, boom, and catching them. Next one, I have to get a little more room, is cross step side kick. This becomes powerful and distance making. So I'm here, cross step behind. Now, you could get even deeper once you get used to it, and boom, you fire into it. So if you notice, you go, there's a lot of penetrating power. Somebody's running away, and you need to still kick them. This is how you do it. You go here, cross step, boom. Now, the only thing that beat that is if they're fast. Remember, if they're running away, they're either turning their back to you, which means they don't know what's coming, or they're backpedaling, which means they know it's coming, but they don't know where they're going. So they can only look one of these 2 ways. So chasing them for a side kick is a very nice technique to get them. So if I'm here, a step cross step, you're gonna go step, step. It's an amazing burst, blow up, get in your face, hit them before they get away type tick. Now, afterwards you usually start throwing your punches because you caught up to them. We also like to work on the technique where after you get there, you go here, bam, 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 you start chasing them down. We call it chasing them out of the ring, which is also a very useful technique. All right, that's all the yellow belt standards that I could find on my brain, and I'm glad that I could share them with you. Hopefully it'll help you study and get ready for your next belt test. And Kyotsuke, great. Thank you.